feel like the misconception they always hear about farming is that farming is a traditional profession. Farming is for old people. Farming, you have to have a lot of money for you to go into farming. Do you understand? It's not. More and more every day, new careers are coming up in agriculture, in poultry. Youths are going into poultry farming, having sustainable living, making money, good money for themselves. I know millionaires that are farmers. All right, so farming is not for old people. Please. Farming is interesting. Farming is hard work. If you know you're lazy, don't go into farming. Hello, my name is Mimi Adimike. I'm the co-owner of AGRICDECK Farms. AGRICDECK Fish and Farm is a small sustainable farming that has gone from just 10 chicks to what, over 3,000 of them. So I'm so happy to be in your channel. Thank you for having me, guys.
What really inspired you into starting a fish farming and poultry business?
Oh, okay, so I would say it would be a survival means, right? Because we started during the post-COVID era. After COVID, nothing was happening, right? And it was just a means of survival. Markets were not opened, and we had the opportunity to raise them from chick level. So we started with like 10 chicks. From 10 chicks, we also added fingerlings. So mostly it was more of a survival mode than any other thing.
Okay, that's impressive. Can you walk us through the daily routine in your farms?
Yeah, sure. So we arrive by the farm at 6:30 every day. We do the necessary things like making sure we feed them. Also, we change their water and clean their drinkers every day. Then after that, we have to make sure that our pen is very clean. So we take our time in doing the necessary cleaning. After we get to feed them thrice in a day. So when we come by 7 a.m. they've eaten their first feed. By 1 p.m. they've eaten, and before we leave for the house, we give them another set of feed just to make sure that they have good weight and they're looking healthy all the time. So yeah, making sure you come early is very, very vital, because you have to make sure that once the morning sun rises, okay, they are already active enough for them to start eating their feed. So I think.
Okay, is that the same for the fish as well?
For the fish is a little bit different, because we have to make sure that the oxygen level in the fish has already depleted. So we always wait till probably 9-10 a.m. before we get to feed them, and they're always active midnight, like 3 a.m. 2 a.m. we get to feed them too by that time, or 4 p.m. So they have different feeding schedule and different management level for each aspect.
In terms of the fish, how often do you change the water?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay, that's impressive. Like you said, good water, good fish.
Good water, yes, every day.
And how long do you keep the fish?
We have different stages where we sell them. We sell them at the melange stage, which is about 3 months. We also have the table size, which is about 4 to 5 months. So we sell at melange or smokable size, and we sell at table size.
Okay. Do you ever regret becoming a farmer?
No, I love it. I did 9 to 5 for like 6 months. I couldn't deal. It wasn't for me. I don't know how those that do 9 to 5 do it, but I love farming so much that the only thing on my mind is expansion. That's it. That is my only regret right now, that we are not doing more than we are doing right now, but I'm very sure with time we'll definitely get there.
Amazing. Do you also smoke the catfish?
Yeah. The good thing about this business is diversification, because we also smoke catfish, we do grilled broilers, we do grilled layers, guinea fowl, rabbits. All of those stuff are still part of. So those are ways you can make money. Don't necessarily have to make money from picking eggs, right? Once your broilers have reached the marketable stage, we have a grill where we grill our broilers and, you know, smoke catfish, export the catfish also. So you don't just have to, you're not just covering your local market, you're also covering international markets also.
Okay. In terms of the feed, how do you manage the quality of feed, and both in the poultry and in the fish, so that you remain sustainable?
Okay, so one thing we do is we always make sure that we get good quality feed from reputable feed millers. We do not by any chance try to subsidize. We always make sure that their feed are top quality. They might be expensive, but still they are top quality feed. So for sustainability, we always try to infuse organic farming into it. All right, we do things like adding moringa to their feed, mostly organic farming with their quality feed. So that will help us in making sure that we are producing quality birds, also maintaining sustainable farming in Nigeria.
Okay, that's impressive. Have you ever thought of BSF?
Someone once mentioned it, but most times is how to procure it, right?
Okay.
I've heard about it, especially for the catfish, right? But most times it's just it's not so available, like when we just have to go carry their feed.
No, producing it by yourself.
By myself?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I think you should look into it.
Yes.
Okay, that's impressive. How do you manage water in the catfish and keeping a healthy environment?
We make sure that we get to change their beddings every 2 days. It doesn't exceed every 2 days. So we usually use sawdust. Sawdust helps in drying the manure, and we make sure that that doesn't exceed 2 days. Okay, and sweeping, cleaning, biosecurity is very important for you to have healthy birds in your farm. Now for your catfish, good water quality and management is important. So from checking the oxygen level to checking the pH level, all of those things helps in keeping both the broiler, the layers, and the catfish do you understand, like good and healthy.
You said pH level. Did you study? Do you have like a PhD in farming?
No.
Where did you get all this information from?
Okay, I think that would be from experience, because we all know that catfish, their main means of survival is in the water, and this water, they have 3 different properties that mix up the water. So we have the physical, chemical, and the biological properties. Now, if you don't get them tested, there's a huge possibility that your fish would die in numbers. So you have to check if your water is acidic, if your water is alkaline, if the oxygen level is low or high. Do you understand? All of those things are things that should be considered in your catfish business. So no, I don't have a PhD, but with time is one of those things you would have to put into consideration if you want to go into catfish farming.
Okay, that's impressive. Speaking of the farm business itself, you said you started after the post-COVID period. Did you do some sort of a training, or how did you just manage to go into this business without any training?
Like I said, we started small, right? We started with 10 broilers, and my mom, she's a diehard. She doesn't leave nothing to chances. So the good thing about this era that we are in is research. You get to research, you get to watch YouTube videos, you get to ask around, you have mentors, guidance all around. So we just did it like, you understand, let us give them, what feed should they eat from so period to so period. You understand? We give that to them. What should we do to make sure? And by the time we were done, those 10 of them, they were, to me, by far, they are the biggest we've ever produced. By far. That was our first time, but they were the biggest broilers I've ever seen. So yeah, we didn't learn it, but we had to do some research on it.
Okay. Are there some unique challenges you face in this farm?
Yeah. Each aspect have their own challenges, right? They all have their own unique challenges, from the cost of feeding to cost of, mostly it's always cost of feeding, to water management, right? And also finance, because no matter how you look at it, poultry farming, catfish farming is time consuming. It's not something you can rush into. Okay, so most of the unique challenges we face right now because of inflation is mostly cost of feeding for the birds.
Okay.
Yes, and
And
procurement, because the beds that were 3,000 last year, they're at 485,000 per bed this year. So inflation really affected most things this year.
okay. Are there some mistakes you make in the past which you think other young farmers or other people are getting into the business?
Yes, yes. Like I said, biosecurity,
Okay.
right? We've lost about, there's a time we were brooding these layers. We didn't know much about brooding layers. We've lost about 1,000 of them all
Oh.
at once because we didn't follow the right biosecurity measures. So biosecurity, especially in poultry business, is very important. I don't know how best to emphasize that part, but we've made that cost us a whole lot, right? When we didn't follow the right biosecurity measure. Even vaccination, people take vaccination as a joke. You have to vaccinate your birds, okay? Those mistakes cost us a whole lot, and we had to properly adjust. So if you know you don't know how to brood your layers, you can either get point of cage at 12 weeks or you get them point of lay. So yeah, things like that can help you in poultry farming and
Okay.
also catfish farming.
Okay, that's impressive. For someone like me or our viewers out there
Yeah.
who are interested in starting, what are some advice you can give to them?
First of all, I will tell them to be open-minded. I'll tell you to be patient. I will tell you to start small. All right, you don't have to have all the whole millions in this world before you go into farming in general, either poultry or catfish farming. You have to be patient. If your main aim in poultry farming is for you to make money, I'm sorry to disappoint you. You're not going to your first production. There's a very huge possibility that you might make a loss there. All right, so you have to be open-minded. You have to love it with everything in you, because it takes time. Just like a child, you don't expect your 1-month-old baby to start feeding themselves, no? So it takes time, it takes patience, it takes guidance, it takes mentorship. And always start small. You can start with 50 broilers. You're doing pretty fine. You don't have to start with 3,000, 1,000. You can have a small space and start something. So always be open-minded, be patient, and I would say start small. And above all, please pray to God. He has to commission your business. Please and please pray to God. There is no one like him. I'll always give all thanks to him.
Okay, that's impressive. Of course, God is the ultimate. Are there some challenges you face, particularly as a lady involved in farming?
That's a tough question, but nah, not really.
People don't have a wrong interpretation of why a lady is involved in agriculture.
Funny enough, people even get impressed when they see a female farmer, right? They can say, oh, you look good, you should be doing this, but they most times don't expect. So me personally, or maybe it's my upbringing, my mom trained me to be really hardworking. So I don't see it as a challenge. So personally, I haven't encountered anything as a female farmer.
So definitely you're going to encourage more ladies to go into
Please,
agriculture.
I feel like ladies are nurturers. They can nurture things to life, right? So the more female farmers we have, the better for us.
Okay.
Yes, the more female, they'll be more inclined. Their mother nature radiates. You can see it through your birds, right? A man can think of 1 million, it's all about production, but a woman, you see her, that dedication, that motherliness in them always comes forth.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Thank
And what has been the most rewarding part of your journey?
Seeing them grow, seeing them lay. Like when we brought them at 12 weeks, they weren't laying. After 6 weeks, I literally did a dance. I literally cried. Like seeing all these things happen, bringing them from chick level, raising them, and also being part of a community, producing foods to your community. It gives me, I feel like I'm doing, or we are doing something to the world or to our community. So yeah, I think the most rewarding part, like every other person, is seeing your business grow.
Okay, is there money in this business?
Yeah, there is.
There's money in poultry and in fishing.
We make money every day.
So can you advise me to do it to this business?
I will, 100%.
you advise me to go into this business.
But money should not be your sole aim.
So what should be my sole aim?
Your sole aim should be productivity.
Productivity.
Yeah,
And
because like I said, you can't necessarily make gain in your first year.
okay.
Why? Is because you're starting from the beginning. You're going to, when you come to your cost of production, you're going to add in the cage you bought, which is new, right? You're going to factor in different equipment, different things you've done. So that first, second year of production, you might only see money to cover your feed and do little expenses. Over time, you know that you don't have to buy a new cage. The only thing you just have to think about is getting your birds, getting medication, and getting their feed, right? That is over time. So yes, there is money. The larger your birds, the more money you make.
Okay, that's impressive. I see you have some broiler birds.
Yes, please.
How long do you keep the broiler birds before they become marketable?
Oh, okay. So what we do, we are seasonal farmers for broilers.
Okay.
Right. We only target festivity period like your Easter and your December period. So during these times, we usually leave them for a longer period, above 8 weeks, so that you have really big birds. I don't do cycle per cycle. If cycle per cycle, we do 6 weeks, 8 weeks, they are marketable. But for festivity period, we do over 10 weeks, 12 weeks.
Okay, that's impressive. And how many eggs do you currently produce?
We do over 50, some because we've sold most of our layers. So from 30 crates per day, so, and you know how much egg is now per crate, so yeah.
So for our viewers who are interested in training, buying broilers, eggs or fish from you, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, okay, so we are located at 1010 Close, Baruwa, Ikpaja. You can also call me on my cell. My number is 0052826595. I'll repeat it again, 0052826595. You can reach me on that number, and I'm always available. Also, we have ebooks on each aspect of the farming, on broiler farming, layers farming, and we are writing one on catfish farming presently. So yes, that's how they can reach me for training.
Okay, that's impressive. Thank you so much for having us such a farm.
Thank you.
We truly appreciate the knowledge. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Wish you the very best in your poultry farming.
Thank you.
Your fish farming and every other agricultural endeavor.
Yes.
It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Wish you the best.
Coming. I appreciate. Bye.
Dear viewers, you heard it all from the lady herself. As beautiful as she is, she's still involved in agriculture. Get yourself involved too. Thank you for watching. If you are new to our channel, kindly subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, so you never miss an episode on agriculture that matters. Until then, peace.